All right, good morning everybody. Tuesday, November 11th, Veterans Day. Very cold, very windy. Gonna have snow showers, snow squalls. It's a wintry kind of day. Already I see on my GPS that there's a 78-minute delay up in the Scranton area, so they must have got a good snow squall through there. But we're probably gonna see flurries and flakes and showers and squalls and maybe some white ground along the way. But we're going up to the Binghamton area and beyond. We got to go to Waverly and deliver, and then come back to Nicholls and pick up, and then bring that back down here. But man, is it cold and windy out. But we'll talk more about that later on and what they're getting down south. But we got to go hook up our trailer and pre-trip that and get out of here, and hopefully the traffic situation up in Scranton will have cleared up by the time we get there. Alright, well, this is ridiculous. Once again, I'm in a holding pattern right here at the warehouse in Hazleton. I back up to the trailer I'm supposed to pull. No paperwork in the bill box. So I'm figuring the bill box was kind of stuck. I don't know if it was frozen or what. So I thought, well, the paperwork is going to be in the back of the trailer. So I hook up everything and do a tug test, make sure I'm connected, pull forward, close the door, climb up inside, no paperwork in the trailer. Not on the floor, not taped to one of the items that are in the trailer. So there's no paperwork to be found at all. And the load itself is kind of wonky. I've never seen a load like it before in my life. It's one of them outdoor loading dock ramps and a couple of rolling staircases, and then one pallet of something with a pallet jack. So I have no idea if this is the right trailer, if they gave me the wrong trailer number. I expected to be taking a whole different product up, considering where I'm going and what's actually in the trailer. Well, we're getting ourselves a snow squall here. As you can see, flakes falling here by the garage door I'm standing at, and you look at the street lights out there, you can see the snow falling in the street lights. That's probably what the traffic delay is up in Scranton. So, but we're in our own little delay here, like I told you. What a day. I don't know, every time I bring these cameras out, it seems like there's some kind of an issue or a problem. Alright, so we got the load and trailer situation straightened out. What happened was they had to put it in another trailer and didn't tell anybody. So I've got the right load in the right trailer, and now we're heading on up. Only problem is the snow squalls today are causing a problem. 81 is closed up there in Scranton. There must have been some kind of a wreck where somebody zigged and they should have zagged or jackknifed or whatever the case may be. It's telling me I got a 174-minute delay. I can shave most of that off if I go up 220 or go out to Bloomsburg Light Street and take 42 to 220 up to Sayre. However, that's all two-lane roads going through the mountains, and there's a big slug of snow coming out of New York State right into that area. So that's not going to be a good idea. So I might be able to get around it if I jump off there at Pittston and take the turnpike up to Clark Summit. Might. I don't know. I'm looking at Google Maps. It looked like the closure was south of Clark Summit. So that might be able to work. But this is going to be a very interesting and fun day. Right now, we've had our snow squalls in Hazleton. I can see the mountain ahead. Kind of disappearing there. So we're gonna have snow showers and snow squalls all the way up to New York. Hopefully we don't run into any more road closures, but we'll see what we get up there in Scranton, and hopefully taking the turnpike around will alleviate some of that problem. Now, as you can see, the top of this Nanticoke Hill here, there is snow on the ground, and the lane is a little bit wet. Temperature is 29 degrees. I don't know if that's wet or ice, but this must be why the problem up here. It is snowing right now, real fine flakes. But it must have just accumulated enough or half melted enough that somebody slipped around and slid around and and there's an accident probably up there somewhere, or a multi-vehicle accident. It seems to happen all the time, especially the first snowfall. But these snow squalls in Pennsylvania, they get kind of nasty, and Interstate 80 all the time has problems on it, makes national news, and even 81 here, they're multi-vehicle pileups when you get into these snow squalls. So evidently that's probably what happened up here. Now I'm hoping, like I said, that the turnpike will be the way to get around it, because once again it's trying to route me up 309 to 29. I don't know if it's taking me to Tunkhannock, to US 6 and over to 220 that way, but whatever the case may be, you see the roads. I don't know that I want to run the back roads with all these snow squalls around and they start getting slick. I've been up that way. I used to run the triaxle up the Sayre to deliver a load of coal, and I know the road. It's narrow, it twists and turns, and it climbs some fairly steep hills. So that's really not the way I want to go in these kind of conditions. So, like I said, hopefully jumping off there at Pittston and taking 476 up to Clark Summit is the way to go. But there's probably not even any salt trucks out, so this stuff ices up. You're gonna have to be careful. Alright, so we are going to try the Pennsylvania Turnpike. It's shaved.
Take the ramp ahead, then keep left.
It took me from an 88-minute delay, which was going down, but it took me from an 88-minute delay to a 12-minute delay.
Keep left to I-476 north.
So it seems like this way.
Minutes of delay. We're adding to your route.
It seems like this way is going to be the better way. All right, we are up here at the end of the northeast extension of Pennsylvania Turnpike 476, Clark Summit, and ground zero for whatever was going on 81. You can see I'm going to have trouble keeping the windshield clean. I got to try one more time here. They did salt up here, so try and get this window clean for you. The wiper misses a spot right where the camera is, so let's see what we do. Speed limit's down to 35 here, so I got to slow down. But yeah, it must have stuck on the roadway pretty good, because you look at the shoulder there, you can see where it's white, where the salt didn't hit it.
In 1 3/4 miles, be in the right lane, then keep right to US 11 north.
This is definitely an interesting ending to a freeway up here. First one, boy, that guy's flying. There goes my window. It's going to get dirty again. This is a pretty high bridge right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see down to the bottom. When you're underneath it, you really get to see how high it is. But that's Clark Summit. Seems to me they put this 35-mile-an-hour speed limit back just a little bit too far. They didn't need to do it until probably after this bridge. Somebody gonna pass me here and crap up my windows yet. But you got a 20-mile-an-hour sharp turn, and wait till you see the ramps. There really isn't much traffic on here. Most everybody sticks to 81. I'm surprised that people didn't detour around here to avoid that mess over there. And also, I'm thinking that delay down there at the warehouse was probably a blessing, because had I gotten out of there at my normal time, might have been up here at the time of the incident and been involved in it. So sometimes delays are blessings in disguise. Oh, they still have the toll booths here. They're tearing them out in most places, but they actually still have them here. We still got a traffic delay, I see. Looks like we're gonna come to a stop here right on the ramp. Now, looks like the freeway's moving over there, but very slowly. So I don't think it's closed, but I think it's going to take a little while to get through whatever mess is going on. So, well, I can't turn the camera, but you can see the traffic underneath the bridge. There's a white Freightliner there and a white pickup truck, and they're not moving. And I don't know, it looks like the cops had the ramp closed off, but it looks like they just opened it back up, so maybe we will start moving soon. Well, we're doing a slow crawl around this ramp. It would have been nice if we would have gotten out north of the problem, but I took a peek at Google Maps while we were stopped, and looks like there's still a road closure north of where we're getting on 81. What a mess. First snow of the year usually causes problems because people forget over the summer how to drive in winter weather. So that's part of the problem. And the other part of the problem is that I guess maybe PennDOT wasn't expecting it to accumulate, and it came down faster and harder than what they were expecting, and stuck to the roads, and then the trucks sort of semi-melted it, and it froze, and somebody probably jackknifed. I'm not sure if we'll get to see any of the carnage or not. Depends on if they get it cleaned up. Looks like there's a PennDOT salt truck up there ahead of us, getting on the freeway. It's moving, but it's moving slowly, just like we are. See here, look at this bridge. I can see they dumped a ton of salt on it because it probably froze up. That's probably what got people, is they were probably tooling along on the pavement, and they got to an overpass, and it was iced up, and they lost control. I seen that in El Paso one time in a freak snowstorm down there. The roads were just wet, but every overpass was a skating rink, and there were wrecks left and right all over the place. But anyway, we're gonna get on the freeway here shortly, and we'll see how we make out. Well, we're out here on the interstate now. That left lane still looks like it's kind of icy. They ran a salt truck up through here. This right lane isn't too bad, but that left lane still looks a little icy. There's some snow on there, and that's what it looks like the salt truck is up there doing, trying to salt that lane now so they can get both lanes down to just wet pavement. It's not...
Continue on I-81.
It's just a dusting. It wasn't like a major snow. It wasn't 2, 3, 4 inches of snow. And barely a half an inch. But it's stuck to the pavement, and that's what caused the problem. All right, here we go. Crossing border. Welcome to New York. Now, the further west we go, we got on 86 west now. We're going through Binghamton, and the further west we go, now the heavier the snow gets again. It's starting to stick to the pavement, and somebody spun out over there on the eastbound side. Had that side a mess. So we're going to have to take her easy through here, watch these bridges again. You can see it's starting to get white. We got 36 miles to go to get to Waverly. That's where we got to deliver this. I don't know if it's going to get worse or we're just driving through one of these lake effect streamer bands and will come out of it. We shall see. This isn't an organized storm system. That's what this is all. All this snow is lake effect. Low pressure blew through here yesterday and wrapped up in New England and got cold northwest winds coming across Great Lakes, so we're getting lake effect snow going on. It's definitely getting a little more and more interesting. Now we got snow blowing around on the road. Winter come early this year. It's only November 11th, Veterans Day, but it's not the first time we had a Veterans Day snowstorm. We had one back in 1987 that dumped about 10 inches down in Allentown. Looks like there's another accident here on the other side. Everybody's slowing down on this side now. Oh, somebody rolled it. Wow. Now we got something going on here. Somebody rolled it on that side. Somebody must have done something on this side too. Now I can see the flashing lights up ahead, so something did happen on this side. Boy, I'm a little bit guilty. I thought everybody was slowing down the rubberneck, and I looked over there to see that pickup truck laying on its roof, and I knew the traffic was slowing down. I was slowing down, but then all of a sudden it just came to a screeching halt. Luckily I was able to move over. I mean, I was slowing down. I was trying to slow down to keep pace with the traffic. I just didn't know it was going to come to a stop that quick. Let's see what it is up here. Boy, what a mess of a day. Oh my God. That little extra grab of the brake I had to do back there tripped the camera in the truck, so now we'll see if I get a phone call later on today. Oh, somebody's in the ditch over there too. They're on their side. Oh my God, on the other side. So you got one on the roof back there in the median, one in the ditch over there on their side. And then something going on up here. And this one must have just spun out into the bridge wall, the way it looks. Oh, this bridge looks really icy. This bridge looks really icy. Yeah, they must have spun out, unless they hit that pickup truck up there. I'm thinking they spun out and hit the bridge wall. And this one probably just stopped because they're probably going to help out. I don't see no damage on their truck. Alright, so here's our exit. Exit 61 for Waverly and Sayre, and snow has pretty much stopped here finally, and the road's dry, so that's a good thing. Now the address is conflicted.
At the end of the street, turn left.
My address said about going to Broad Street, and when I looked up on Google Maps, that wasn't anything that looked like a place that would receive a delivery. But there's a Broad Street extension, and that same number is on the extension, and there I found
stop sign, then take the first right.
A place with loading docks. So that is where we're going to go. and see what we've got. And now all the snow is starting to slide off the roof of the truck. And this is just a stop sign. Now let's see how hard it's going to be for me to get out. It doesn't look like there's a ton of traffic here, but alright, we made it.
Turn right at the stop sign.
So we got turn right away here. After we come to a complete stop. That road to our left is Broad Street. This is Broad Street Extension, and that has a 5-ton weight limit. So I don't know. We'll see. But this looked like it made more sense when I looked at it on Google Maps in the satellite view. So half a mile down here on the left. So we'll see whether I'm right or I'm wrong. .685 Broad Street Extension. This is what I need, or at least this is what I think I need.
In 1/4 mile, arrive at Waterloo Sparkling, Waverly, New York, on the left.
And you gotta love this speed limit sign. Why do you see it here? Speed limit 9 miles an hour. Not 5, not 10, but 9. Now, where is the shipping and receiving office? I don't want to park in anybody's way. Supposedly this is a live unload. So I don't know. I guess we'll stop here and see what we've got going on. Alright, so this was the right place. We're here. We just got the red light now. I backed into the dock, got the red light. Once I get the green light, I'm empty and I'm good to go. So, and all we got to do is go about 8 miles down the road back to Nicholls to get our reload. So, like I said, they told me it might be a drop and hook preloaded trailer. So, let's kind of hope. But yeah, that was an interesting ride up here, detouring around Scranton and then finding those rollovers there around Endicott, New York and Vestal. Traffic's still jammed up there. I just looked at the map, so freeway's still kind of jammed up over there, but they'll probably get it cleaned up pretty soon. As long as these snow squalls kind of start to taper off, then maybe we won't run into any more problems heading back down south with the backhaul. So we will see, but we're just going to chill and relax here and wait for them to unload me and then be on our way. Alright, so we're empty. It is 10:52, 10 to 11. We're empty. We actually have a 15-mile ride to get to where we're going to pick up. We've been there before, that place in Nicholls. Thought it was 8 miles, but it's actually 15 miles. Now I guess this is a 4-way stop, so I'm next. So of interest, when we go under the freeway, we are going to cross the border into Pennsylvania. We're that close to the New York-Pennsylvania state line. So when we're on this ramp to get on the freeway, we'll actually be in Pennsylvania. And then once we get up onto the freeway, we'll be back in New York State.
Turn right on Route 17
no sign here that says it. But actually, right about where this green sign is, it says Sayre 1, Binghamton 39 is where the state line is. So now we're in Pennsylvania, briefly. And then once we loop around and get back up on the freeway, we'll be back in New York State. But 81 to 86 is the fastest way to get here. You could go up 42 from Light Street through all the little towns, get to 220 and come up into Sayre that way. But number one, it's all 2-lane hilly roads. With light load, it probably would have went pretty quick, but I didn't trust the snow squalls. I didn't know what those roads were going to be like with the snow squalls, considering how the interstates were. So, but now we're back in New York, and well, it wants me to go down to Owego again. It wants me to go down to Owego again and then go some back way in there because it thinks the roads are restricted, but they're not. So we're going to get off exit 63 like we always do and go back there and see if this is a live load or if we've got one that's preloaded. All right, so this was indeed a drop and hook. We got fortunate. Instead of having to live load this thing, which could take hours, we got a drop and hook. So we're hooked up to it. We're pre-tripped, got tandem slid to where we want them to be. Took about 10-minute break to eat our snack, and we're just about ready to go. Once we do our loaded call, we'll get out of here. And I'm going to try hat cam today. I'm reluctant to use it, and I don't use the DJI cam or the Insta360 camera much because I can't hook up an external microphone to it. I have to use the built-in microphone, which kind of bugs me because I don't know how it's going to sound. I know I get good audio with the external mic on the phone and on the DJI camera, so but we'll try it and see how it sounds. If it doesn't sound good, then we won't use it that much, but if it does, then we'll start using it more often, give you some point of view footage, especially with the hat cam. So all right, now once we do our computer work, we're gonna get out of here. All right, so we're rolling. We get ourselves out of here and back on 86, go back through Binghamton, grab 81 south towards Scranton, and the rest of the way home. We'll have to see if traffic is better. When I looked at the traffic going down there, it was still kind of dicey around the Vestal area, west of Binghamton, and down there by Hazleton. The southbound 81 was closed from I-81 up to Pennsylvania 93 there, to West Hazleton exit. So I don't know exactly what was going on there.
Right on Berry Road.
Probably an accident because they were getting snow squalls there. I saw the ground was white when I looked at the 511 cameras. So we will see. It's still snowing. It's warming up though. It says it's 33 now, so maybe we won't have as much of a slippery road problem. Still have to watch the bridges, but the roads themselves may stay wet, especially since they've probably salted them pretty good now. So shouldn't have any problems on the main roads themselves unless we get a super heavy blizzard-like squall. If we get that, then all bets are off. But it's the bridges that we're still going to have to watch for because they'll stay icy longer if they didn't salt them. Well, I don't know if this is a construction zone up here or if they're cleaning up another accident. We are going across a fairly lengthy bridge here, crossing the Susquehanna River. And the right lane is closed, so we'd jump over here into the left lane, and we're rolling about 10-11 miles an hour. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's construction or if they're cleaning up another wreck from earlier when snow was flying and these bridges were icy. We'll see. Susquehanna looks like it has a nice flow to it right now. Hey, like a hoarse throat for some reason. Yeah, let's see what it is. Because as you saw coming up here this morning, there were quite a few wrecks on here. Yeah, it looks like they're cleaning up oil dry. They had to put oil dry down here for whatever happened. So it must have been a wreck. Oh, there's a tractor trailer. Did he rear end somebody? Ah, yeah, front end's all damaged up. So it was a big truck wreck. They're cleaning up. I was wondering why my GPS wanted to jump me off the freeway back there at the last exit. Maybe it thought the road was closed yet. I don't know. Because I do have it set up. It works in conjunction with, I'm thinking Google Maps. I don't know. But it'll tell me where the traffic delays are and ask me if I want to route around them. So I'm not 100% sure. Alright, so we are back here in Bingo Town, as Binghamton is affectionately known. Actually, we're in the western suburb of Vestal, but we're coming up on Binghamton proper here pretty soon. So, and I think this middle lane is the one I'm going to need to stay and get on 81. But this exit up here, every time I use it, it kind of throws me for a loop. I think I'm in the wrong lane, but it ends up that I'm not in the wrong lane. We got 2 miles to go till we get there, but we're just gonna stay put here because traffic is kind of heavy-ish. Usually in urban areas on a 3-lane freeway, I prefer to ride the middle one anyway. It keeps me out of that right lane where the merges are, and people are braking for the exits, and people are trying to get out onto the freeway. So I usually like to stay in the middle lane out of the conflict zone, as I've told you about on 22, where I like to stay in the left lane out of the conflict zone. This guy's gonna spray me up with salt water now. Because I ain't going fast enough for him.
In 1.25 miles, keep right to I-86 East, then keep left.
See, it tells me to keep right, but actually, this is the proper lane. Yep, see, now we're all salted up. 'Tis the season for winter salt. Try and clean it up. Go through washer fluid left and right. And you can see there's a V in the window there where the wipers don't cover, and it's right where my other camera is. So I guess for the winter months I'm gonna have to move it more to the left so that I can have a clean windshield.
86 East, then keep left.
The left lane is for 81 north. These 2 lanes are for 81 south. And it throws you here because you move right here and you see this exit for 11
East, then keep
Front
right.
Street. But this is actually the lane you want to be in. But it kind of throws you for a little bit of a loop. You think you should have been over there to the left. But then up here, then it reminds you that you are in the right lane, because here's the signs for 81, 86 again.
Keep right.
The first couple times I came through here, as soon as I went right, I was like, uh-oh, that's not right. But yeah, it is right. See, because there's the exit for 7. And you stay over here and this puts you on 81. actually, we probably can move over one lane. Or else we'll be in the left lane. And I don't think it's illegal to be in the left lane with a big truck, but it's not.
4 miles, keep right to I-81 south.
It's not the place to actually be. So. Alright, so you see the sign. We're down here by East Benton, exit 201. We are like 13 miles from Scranton, north of Scranton, and it's snowing like crazy down here. Thankfully, the roads are just wet. I don't know how much salt they put on these things this morning, but between that and the solar radiation, because it is almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you can see that even the shoulders are just wet now. If this were like 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning before the sun come up, before the salt trucks come out, the rate it's snowing right now, this would be a completely snow-covered freeway. And they got a pretty decent amount of snow here. It must have been snowing most of the day, of varying intensities, because it looks like at least an inch of snow. And for a day that was really only supposed to be some flurries and snow showers and not much in the way of accumulation, turned out to be a bigger deal than I think what anybody had expected. And I don't know where all this traffic suddenly came from. There was no traffic coming down here, and now all of a sudden we got into it and caught up to PGT here, who's 49 miles an hour. I can't get out and pass him just yet. It's enough traffic. Hot shot coming up here. Hopefully once he gets by, I can get around him here. Yeah, I don't know where all the traffic suddenly came from. Like somebody opened the floodgates coming down from New York. There was really no traffic around me, but all of a sudden here it comes. Now it looks like the shoulders are starting to get a little white. It's much more of a snow day, I think, than anybody had really anticipated. Probably more than an inch of snow up here, maybe get close to 2 inches. But this is that highest part of the mountain before you start dropping down into Clark Summit. So elevation is playing a key here too. The temperature's 31, but my wipers are squeaking a little bit, but I'm trying to give you guys some good visibility. Thankfully, I got winter blades. This is the loaner truck, by the way. I'll talk to you more about that in another video. But this is that loaner truck, which is a better truck than the one I had. And it even has the winter blades on it, so that's kind of helpful. The other one just had regular blades. But it is like a full-on snowstorm up on top of this mountain here. This is crazy. I am not sure that anybody expected this much snow to fall today. I don't know what they got in Hazleton. They could have gotten as much as this, maybe not. I don't know. Like I said, there was a bad wreck that had southbound closed from Interstate 80 up to the top of the hill there in Hazleton. So I don't know. Maybe they did get a good amount down there. But this is pretty impressive. Climbing up this hill, the higher up we go, the more snow there is, and the heavier it's falling. We're down here on the valley floor here in Scranton, actually south of Scranton, heading toward Pittston and Avoca, where the airport is. And I mean, look at the snow down here. This was not forecast, not this kind of snow. Easily 2 inches of snow on the ground on unpaved surfaces. And the visibility, I mean, for how hard it's snowing, I don't think it was supposed to snow this hard as a steady snow. You get bands of maybe a snow shower or something, but this is just crazy. I'm trying to look to see how much snow. It looks easily, like I said, 2 inches of snow. I figured when it stopped snowing up in Binghamton that maybe we were pretty much done with it, and it was pushing to the east and northeast, but my goodness, this is probably the heaviest snow I've seen all day is down here in the Wyoming Valley, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton metro area. Thankfully, it's not sticking to the roads. Temperature's 32 according to the truck. I don't know how accurate the thermometer is on here, but if it were a couple of degrees colder, or if it were earlier in the day and the sun wasn't up pretty high in the sky for the time of year that it is, these roads would be in a whole lot different shape than what they are, because basically it's just the white rain. I mean, the grass is white and the trees are white and stuff, but the roads are just wet like it's raining. Makes me wonder if it's doing this all the way down to Hazleton, or if we kind of come out of it somewhere. Well, we're down here at the Wilkes-Barre area, and as you can see, it did taper off, and there's not much in the way of snow on the ground down here. So anybody who's a snow lover in Wilkes-Barre, you got to be jealous of the people who live up in Scranton, because they got pretty much. There's a little bit of snow on the ground, but not much. Really nothing. In fact, the roads are dry down here, which is kind of nice. So all that heavy snow is behind us. I still see snow up there. The mountains have a haze to them, so it is still snowing lightly, but it's not like it was snowing up there in Scranton and Clark Summit and up there in the Endless Mountains. We're down here by Nicholls right now, and as you can see, it's just winter brown, basically. Of course, Hazleton still could be a different story because of the much higher elevation than where we're at right now. Alright, so we're back and we're done for the day. We dropped the trailer where it needed to be dropped and closed everything out, did our empty call. We're parked over here, did our post trip already, and boy, the wind is rocking this truck. It's still snowing. It's snowing here in Hazleton too. I don't know if you can see. The grass is a little white, not like it was up north there, north of Scranton, but they got a little bit of snow down here too. And it's still snowing and blowing sideways right now and blowing across the parking lot, and it is just a true winter feeling day today. Temperature is 31, not brutal cold, but the wind and the snow and the gray skies makes it feel more like January or February than November. So, but we're done, and that little job that he was going to have me do, we're going to do that tomorrow morning. Because there's no empty here for me to take over there to pick up that loaded one. So what we're going to do is, instead of picking it up today and dropping it for another driver to do tomorrow morning. We're just gonna call in the dispatch first thing in the morning, find out where there's an empty, get an empty, go over there, pick up the load, and by that time the place up there in Hanover Township will have opened up and we're going to deliver it ourselves. So that's the plan. He just called me and told me that. But anyway, we're done, and I did a little bit of hat cam footage. Let me know what you think of it. I'm going to try to incorporate it in a little bit. The only problem is I can't do it all day because the little pod that clips onto my hat doesn't hold the charge very long. So I can use it for part of the day, but I still got to use the main camera for most of the day. But I'm going to try to mix it up for you and give you some interesting and new stuff. All right, talk to you later.